he's made that.
Just cannon fire.
Hey guys, today we are going to be talking about tactics. We recently put out a community poll and asked what was the #1 thing you struggle with as a tennis player, and 57% of you answered that it was tactics and figuring out how to win. So before we go any further, one thing I want to note here, make sure you stay to the end of this video because we have an offer for you guys. So stay to the end of this video. We all know what it's like to play against someone with a big forehand, whether that's at the club level, junior tournaments, collegiate tournaments, maybe pro tournaments. There's always going to be those players that seem to have a big forehand. And today, I'm going to show you 4 tactics that you can do to try and defeat that player with a big forehand. This very first tactic that is used and can be used against players that have big forehands, righty or lefty, is to target the backhand with a heavy ball. This might seem simple, but it's very, very effective on all levels of play. Look at Rafa, who is recently retired, has played his lefty spinny forehand all day long into the opponent backhand. So this is especially effective when you're able to clear the net approximately by window 2 with some heavier spin. It's getting high up on the opponent's backhand. When you get up to higher levels of play, the opponent will have probably a good backhand. So you need to keep that in mind, that maybe just doing this won't break them down, but to know that it might put them in an uncomfortable position when then you can then change direction on them and then maybe work it back into that pattern. So this is something that is extremely effective. Like I said, we've seen Rafa do this for years, just wailing on the lefty forehand into an opponent's backhand. And this is a great way to make that type of player uncomfortable. Another thing to note about this one as well, this is going to frustrate that player. They're playing the shot that they do not want to play. They're not winning points off of hitting backhands above their shoulder or even higher, right? They want to be hitting forehands. So they may even get a little upset with this, lack for a better word, because they might even try to change direction on an off ball just because they want to get the forehand coming back maybe. But listen, if you're playing into their backhand that much, they're not going to like this. The second tactic is one that you can do off the serve. Typically, I actually like to do this one and play into their forehand first. So you can play hard slice into their forehand if you're on the deuce side, let's say. They return the ball. If it's a good serve, it's probably going to be around the middle. If you're lucky, service line, usually probably 3/4 court. And then you attack on the next ball, open court into the backhand. This is going to get them moving side to side into their backhand on the run, which is not an easy shot to hit for anyone. You can also place a serve into their backhand as well and go double whammy. So serve into the backhand and then play into the backhand. They're not going to be covering, they're going to be needing to cover less court with that. Also, just because a player has a good forehand and it's powerful, spinny, and it's heavy, doesn't necessarily mean their forehand return is solid. If someone plays a very good slice wide, or maybe even a heavy kick and flat serve wide, does not mean it's going to come back as strong as if they're playing the forehand in the rally. So once again, this tactic, big serve wherever you'd like, and then followed up by an attacking ball into the backhand. So now, reversing the roles here, we're not on serve anymore, we are returning. We're all gonna get opportunities in matches to return on a second serve. So these are moments in a match that are critical, and we need to be aware of these moments in general, but of course, if we know our opponent has a strong forehand, we're gonna wanna target their weaker side right away. And once again, these tactics might seem quite simple, but sometimes simple is what we need it to be in order to work. So we're gonna target that backhand right from the start. So they serve into my body, they serve into my forehand. I'm gonna do my best to put a quality ball into the backhand side of the court. Even if it's to the middle more and they're still hitting a backhand off of it and it's a deep return, that's still a good play. Another one you can also do, let's say they serve, like I'm a righty, if they serve into my backhand, if I chip deep into their backhand or a short chip into their backhand side, they might not like that as well, maybe challenging their movement to come up versus more side. So that's just another one if you are on the return.
I said okay.
And the last one that I want to talk about is don't get beat by the forehand in big points. Find a way to get out of these patterns. You're gonna lose points because this player does have a big forehand. It's inevitable. This is how they want to play their tennis, and they're gonna be able to string points and games together by doing their favorite patterns with their forehand. But try your best to grind for every point, put the ball back high and heavy, target it into that backhand as much as possible. When you feel like you're getting into a rally and it's on their terms in a pattern that they want, try and break out of it effectively, whether that's a high change of direction down the line, maybe it's a slice down the line. Just notice those little things, be able to adapt, try and not fall into the same pattern every time, and just be aware of their pattern that they're trying to create off their forehand. So now that you guys know 4 tactics that can help you defeat a player with a big forehand. All right, so now that offer that I was talking about at the beginning of this video, today we're gonna be offering the first 20 people to go down in the link in the description. If you are struggling with tactics, that's totally okay. This is something that I'm always working on as well. We are offering the first 20 people a game plan against your next opponent. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna fill out the first link and the second link. First link is gonna go over what you are strong at as a tennis player. And then the second link is gonna talk about who your opponent is. If you know your opponent, what maybe their weaknesses is, and then I will craft you guys a plan to try and defeat your opponent. This is all free. First 20 people to the links get this offer. So there you guys have it. We have 4 tactics now to tackle a player with a big forehand. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Tactics are stuff that can be overlooked at times. This is something, like I just mentioned, I'm currently working on to become better at. As a tennis player, I feel like it's a weakness of mine, so I'm gonna continue to work on this, and I hope this video was helpful for you guys today. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.